plus, you can have the peace of mind that you and the most picky eaters in your home have the whole food nutrition that they need. Leave us in with the Juice Plus Company.
Karen Burkholder Insurance Agency. My mission statement is to ensure landlords receive the best solutions for their properties and for their residents through my connections with insurance, real estate, and my product service committee. Awesome. Karen Burkholder, Insurance Agency.
Hi, I'm Rayanne Kane, and my business is Pain Relief Therapy, where we enable individuals with recent or chronic physical pain to experience quick and sustainable relief without the dependence, time, and expense of inherent traditional methods. Rayanne Kane. Take care of your body. It's the only place you have to live in.
Awesome.
I'm working on it.
That's good, though. That's good. Very good.
I'm John Moore. Passed to the next person. I just had a memory lapse.
It's okay.
Hey, you don't get a cell phone. You read from the cell phone.
You're with Legal Shield.
I'm John Moore, and I offer hope and opportunity with Legal Shield. With Legal Shield, you have for one flat monthly fee, can access advice, legal advice, no matter how traumatic or trivial the issue. With Legal Shield, we help people have peace of mind and really confidence about the future. And I'm particularly looking for people that, number one, want to make more money, because I'm in the process of recruiting team. Number two, looking for commercial drivers and companies that would like to offer their services as employee benefit.
Awesome.
Again, John Moore with Legal Shield.
Patrick Garcia, agent with New York Life, a company that's been around for 171 years, and we've been fortunate enough through financial stability and creditworthiness be able to provide our participating policyholders dividends for the past 163 years straight. So I personally help my clients and small business owners find financial risk and opportunities while they're making a living so that they can have financial independence.
All right, and you know me, I'm Dave Roberts, and I'm connecting dots and helping change the world one dream at a time. So yeah, we're live actually right now. So I'm going to go wide here and get everybody in. I'm just giving a little bit of chance for people that are on Facebook. Starts notifying before you go or when you're going live, and so it takes a little bit to build an audience. So I'm trying. I just kept it going. So your voice was in the background, but I just had it zoomed in on the screen. So so when you did your 30 seconds and everybody applauded, you know, you probably kind of hear it in the background. But anyway, today we're going to talk about what it says on the screen, the only 3 ways to increase revenues in your business. Jenna Apgar is my partner in the Business Growth Network. You know her. She's been around the group for a while. Wealth of information, extremely successful in helping businesses to grow their business and to market their business, and as a warfare marketing specialist or a marketing warfare specialist, whichever way you want to characterize her, she's an awesome person to have on your team. So I'm going to ask Jenna to come up here, and for those on Facebook Live, we'll be live for about 30 minutes here, so strap in and let's hear this training that Jenna has offered to the Richardson Plato Networkers. Thanks.
You might want to check the camera.
Okay.
It had like your forehead and
my forehead?
the wall.
Oh, so it zoomed in on my head.
Yeah, I was looking at it, and so before we get started, I'm actually going to play a short video. I'm going to take a note from David's playbook here. Oh wait, pause. I don't think I have any sound.
Okay, let me.
How does sound work?
It works on the remote. You have it on. As long as you have it on there, I can.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just turned down on the TV. Yeah, we should be good. Okay.
Make it really big. Tell me when you're ready.
That's ready.
Okay, let's try
Should
this
be.
again. Take it back to the beginning.
Let me ask you a question. What would you do if you had twice as many customers this time next month? Now listen, you know that pesky competitor, the one who's gobbling up the lion's share
Love
of the
the
business?
animation.
Think that's because he's smarter than you, better than you, harder working? Of course not. So what does this chucklehead know about business that you don't? What's his secret mutant power? And how is this fair in any way, shape, or form? The fact is, it isn't fair. If you deliver the best product or service, you should win, right? Unfortunately, that's not how things work. Business just isn't fair. That's why in today's market, you have to learn to play with an unfair advantage. Chances are our knuckle-dragging friend simply stumbled upon one of only 3 ways to grow any business. And there really are just 3, so listen up. Number 1, he may be getting more customers than you. Obviously, if you could get more customers, your business would grow, right? Of course it would. But it isn't that simple. Or is it? At Digital Marketer, we've identified 43 customer-getting methods. There's even one called the football phone method that regularly triples sales. Now imagine if you used this same football phone technique to find 3 times as many customers. Overnight, your business would grow by a cool 300%. That's triple. Not a bad start. Second, he may be making more profit per sale than you are. But what if you knew the McDonald's secret to triple your profit on every sale? Compound that with all those new customers and your sales would rise by 900%. Now we're really getting somewhere. And third, he may be getting his customers to come back more often than you are. But what if you knew the Starbucks secret of getting your customers to come back like a boomerang, at least 3 times more often to buy? Do the math. Get those new free-spending customers to buy from you 3 times as often, and you'd grow your enterprise by 2,700%. 2,700%. And yes, that's a really big number. Maybe hard to believe, but noodle on this. If you do just a passable job at getting more customers, if you maximize the profit from each customer, and you get those customers to buy more often, tripling your sales is pretty attainable, and doubling it is almost surefire. I know, because that's exactly what we do every day at Digital Marketer. We leverage 47 methods to help you get massive amounts of new customers. We explode the profits of every sale you make in 13 different ways. And we have another 13 ninja tricks to get your customer to come back like a boomerang. And we're dang good at all 13. Added up, that's 73 different ways we know to double any business. And we just want to show you all 73. Just talk to your digital marketer rep, and they'll score your business with our detailed 73-point checklist, covering all 3 of the business growth factors you just learned about. If you like what you hear and you want our help implementing the business doubling tricks we checked off, we'd obviously love to have you as a client. Either way, you'll have a plan of action for growing your business absolutely free. Why would we do all this for free? Simply put, we want to show you we actually know what we're talking about. We call this value in advance, and it's what we're all about at Digital Marketer. We know that after you see all the untapped potential just sitting in your business, you'll want to hire us to help you implement those opportunities so you can get the benefit without having to do all the work. When you do hire us, we cost way, way less than a bad employee. We don't call in sick, and we never leave to go to work for your competition. But today, we're talking about a 73...
That was the gist of it. Did y'all catch the 3?
No.
Yes, ma'am.
3. Everything's in multiples of 3.
But that really is, that's it. That's the only way you can get more revenue. I mean, that covers everything, right? You either, let's see if I can get this over here. Either have more customers, more leads, right? More revenue per sale, more margin, more profit. And you get more purchases from each client. That's it. It's really simple. Those are the only 3 ways to increase your revenue at all, whatsoever. So, I didn't introduce myself. My name is Jenna Apgar, and obviously this was from Digital Marketer. So, I didn't start out building an agency. I didn't decide to go out and say, oh, I think I'll be a marketer. I did it in high school, done it for other companies. But when I did start out as a blogger, and then this company shows up in my feed one day in Facebook with advertising, and you start going down the rabbit hole. This is where all my training, well, most of my training, I get sent from other places. That's a Jeff Walker, or Mary, I can't even remember her last name. But this is a lot of it. And when it comes to customer value optimization, people even think they invented it. They didn't invent it, but they do a really good job of it. And went to a convention, spent way too money, and now my firm is one of their certified partners and I get to use their stuff. And instead of pretending like I'm not using it, I get to use it officially now, right? So I have rebranded. So like I said, I did not mean to build an agency, and when I first started out, and I even came here a year and a half ago, my intent was to work with bloggers and help them grow from just being mommies at home with a blog to actually turning it into revenue like I had done. So that's not what I do anymore. Because of all their training, I've worked more now with businesses, showing them how to increase their profits. And I like helping moms, but I find sometimes that they are not ready to grow. They like being small, they're afraid of all things new and incoming customers. So I am now Warfare Marketing. It's the best domain ever, and I think it's probably a better representation of me and my military background, and I'm not nearly as nice as most of those mommy bloggers. So typically when I have structured out any one of my clients' campaigns, their war machine, if you will, it's been with this model. Is anybody confused just staring at it?
Yep.
Yeah, it's nice and confusing. So this is actually where I started. It says traffic source. Everyone wanted me to handle their social media. Social media manager was the nice buzzword, and they wanted me to make money right here. That's not the confusing part, right? That's all over here. This is money. This is social media, email, AdWords. This is just traffic. This is if you need more customers, this is where you get them. So when you try to make money on social media and you don't have this, you're not making money. You're losing money. You're pretty much losing everything. These are traffic sources. This is what people wanted. I got very frustrated with this part when I took on my original clients because they wanted Facebook to magically make money, and they didn't have any of this over here. So what is this over here? How many of y'all add value to your clients before you make a sale? Few? Some? Most people want to go straight for the sale, right? You wouldn't do that in a relationship, but somehow we do that in business. This is showing you a sales funnel. Adding value up front, getting traffic to value, small purchase, big purchase, more purchase, and regurgitate. One problem with this method. Do you as a person want to be in that kind of bucket?
No.
Do you feel like a person in that kind of bucket? All of these models that have ever been built are all about extracting value and basically treating you as a human as a commodity, right? A commodity to extract value, no different than gold from a mountain. So it's not that it's bad, it's just not the whole picture. So the ultimate goal, though, in any of this is to turn a perfect stranger that you've never met, who doesn't know your name, doesn't know you're in business, right? I mean, y'all have circles, but that circle's not big enough, right? It misses the very first one. You need more customers. That's why you're here, right? You have to first get them to know you, but then turn them into rabid buyers and promoters. It's not enough to have just a customer. You want a customer who goes out there and gives you referrals, right? So, I don't know if I've ever told some of you this. My kid, my son, he totally got kicked out of the first Montessori he went to. It didn't last a week before I got a call like at 10:30 after dropping him off at 8:30. They're like, come get your kid now. He is not welcome here. I go to pick him up and they're like, oh, why are you taking Bella out? We love her. I'm like, you just kicked my son out. I'm not keeping my
It's a
other kid
package
here.
deal, right? Yeah.
She's only here because he's there. It's all one. And so I take him down. I'm not kidding. Like the Yelp review is this long. It's bad. But what happened is I did find a place 20 schools in. I drive 3 miles away from my home, and I live in Frisco. There's like a school on every block. I drive 3 miles away to go to one school, and they have been awesome. He learned to write in 5 months. He couldn't scratch out a straight line, and he was writing his name in 5 months. Because of that process, because the onboarding was so nice, going there was so great, I am now a rabid customer. I would never leave. If I ever hear someone like, I need to put my kid in school, I'm like, I'm in Facebook, like, making sure I call them out so they can just click on it. That's the goal. You want super fans. You want when somebody asks for a financial advisor or legal or car help or insurance help, You want them to immediately think of your name, be like, you shouldn't use anybody else. Not just like, I suggest this, I know this person. There is not one other person on this planet I would trust to refer you besides this person. So this is a book about relationships, and how in the world does that relate to business, right? It goes on to talk about 12 different stages of intimacy, and think about the different part. You have to say hello to someone, you get to introduce them, you know, you can go all the way to full bang marriage. If you skip 2 steps, this book suggests that that's where phone calls to police start happening. You can't just go up to a girl and grab her, right? That's been kind of a thing lately, right? This works in business too. Business is not business to business or business to consumer. It's human to human interaction, right? You cannot just go up to somebody who does not know your name and be like, so I've got this $5,000 product. I'd like to build you a marketing machine. You're going to buy it, right? It's not going to ever work out unless you have some history or something behind it. So when you start treating business, like human interaction, the same way that you would court a partner, the way you would court even a friend, you don't make best friends overnight. It takes time. So this is the simplified version of that big messled garbage, right, that you looked at and your eyes rolled to the back of your head and you're like, what? This is the simplified form. Awareness. So if you're ever having a problem in business, this is a good chart to start with. Do people know who you are? And if the answer is no, then this is where you need to be. If people know who you are, then you need to start engaging them. If they're not buying over here, if they're not subscribing, converting, all this, engage them. How are you going to have conversations with your customer just like a relationship? Engage them in conversation. Engage them with value. This is like a blog post. I'm not saying gated. I'm not saying anything else. This is just a conversation. A happy birthday on Facebook. Tell them what you do in like a non-pushy way. Go on Facebook Live on your own personal pages and tell them about what it is you're doing. Engage your audience. Subscribing is getting them to some, I'm not going to say email. Email's still, the classic. It's still the one that's going to work. Get them into your CRM because they want to be there, not because you force them or spam them, because they asked to be there. There's some Facebook options that are coming out. I'll show you later. And if you're getting subscribers but they're not buying, then conversion is the problem. There's a problem between what's happening when you get them signed up and what you're asking. If you can't get them to convert, you might need to engage them better. Or make the offer more congruent, make them similar. If they're converting, are they asking for refunds? Are they not excited? Do they never buy again? Because exciting them might be a problem. You might need to drop back down to engage and make sure that they're happy. Or how about have you ever bought a product, especially the really expensive ones, and then the person just leaves you high and dry? Maybe the onboarding process is so frustrating, you're like, I just don't even want to deal with it anymore, just go away. I don't even want to talk to you. Turns out I'm flying to Vail this summer because one of my good friends hired a wedding planner, $3,000 down, absolutely non-refundable after 7 days, no matter what. $3,000 a week before the service. She barely picked up the phone, and when she did give stuff, it was bare minimum. It was a recommendation. She didn't negotiate any contracts. Her onboarding process wasn't working. Her deliverables weren't sufficient. Her pricing structure, when she was turning like, oh, it's going to be $5,000 for your decor, and then you gave her like, oh, no, actually it's going to be $20,000. Big difference between $5,000 and $20,000, right? Just a little bit. And she didn't even want to give that, probably because she knew there was going to be a little shock and all, and not the good kind, right? So you need to excite them. You need to make sure the onboarding is really nice. It's a very pleasant experience, that you're constantly educating about whatever it is y'all are doing, that you're educating them about what's going on and why they should be excited about it. So you convert them once on a basic level. I'm a big fan of like an introductory offer. If you're not right for the $5,000 sale, it's not going to work. But if there's something that's $250 or $1,000, it really depends on your price point, on how you can help them. And this converting doesn't even always have to be a purchase. It can be a commitment. It can be showing up at a training. It could be this is a commitment. You've given me commitment to show up your time, right? But getting them to ascend up the purchasing ladder to buy the bigger products. If you're a financial advisor, insurance, so maybe they buy, one tiny product from you. But it's not the one that's gonna, it's not a big deal.
It's the renter's policy.
Okay. Hey, renter's policy, that's where you're at in life, right? But one day they're gonna buy a house and a car, right? Or a big diamond ring or a fancy camera package or have a business. You want them to come back to you, right? That's making sure they stay excited and then all the time engaging and moving them up there. And the more you take care of them and communicate with them like a human being and not just when you're trying to make a sale, they will become your advocates. And if you take care of them as advocates, think like whenever a realtor, somebody referrals, they give them like a $500 gift card. Or I had one of my clients was an architect. The job was $200,000. I think he sent him to France or something. So kind of a big deal, right? What happens when your advocate finds out that that's how you're going to take care of them? Now you have cheerleaders and promoters that are rabid fans. A great example of this, and I never thought about it until I heard him speak, so I think he's the CMO of Uber, Chief Marketing Officer. I remember here in Dallas, they slid a thing on the city council ballot for Uber that would basically demolish Uber in our city. Most young urban professionals could care less what's going on in the council. They're like, whatever, just be cool. You leave me alone, I'll leave you alone. We don't even know what's going on. We don't know what the meetings are. We don't know what's on the agenda. Well, one day, in the morning of the agenda, a line item got slipped on to demolish Uber and get it out of the city. So you have less than 24 hours notice, and one decision can make it go away. Somebody put that on Facebook or Twitter or whatever, and it flew through Dallas like wildfire, and by noon, you couldn't get a phone call in to the, what's their name? City council, whatever, the person who takes all the phone calls for them, without being like, we're busy. Well, how do I speak? Oh, you have to show up at 7 a.m. and you have to do all of this, and everyone's like, okay. Telling their bosses, I've got to go. I've got to go save Uber. That's a rabid fan. Nobody asked them to do that, but the moment that they thought that they might lose their Uber, they were like wild pack of dogs, like absolutely not, it's not going to happen. That's what you want. That's the goal. So here's an example, and I have this available for download. I'll show you the instructions to get it. This is how you can map out everything. So if you'll notice, each one is color-coded. It's the exact same things we've been discussing. There's a process to this. Every single thing that you do can be laid out on here. Every employee that you hire can be laid out on here. I'm about to order a giant whiteboard just so I can map out what I'm doing on here. I love this. This makes so much sense. If you're having, if you see a shiny object, anybody shiny object syndrome? Mm-hmm. If you look on here and you're like, my awareness is good and this shiny object is helping me with awareness, that's not my problem. Then you can dismiss that shiny object and you can focus on only the things that you need. Whereas if awareness is a problem, you're like, okay, maybe that's something I need. If you have no awareness, there's no reason to chase shiny objects up here because you're still down here. So everything can be down here. Awareness, prospect sees an ad, finds you in a search, hears you about referral. That's all down here. Reading a blog, engaging social media, watching a video. That's what we're doing right here, right? Opting in to receive gated content. Several of you are on my list. I think 2 of you are not. Not bad, right? Making a small purchase. Several of you in here made a purchase with me or David. Exciting. Anybody excited about? Y'all keep on showing up on Fridays and Mondays. Got your attention, right? Yeah. And some of y'all keep buying every month, right? How many of you told anybody about me? Yay! See? And promoted. Like getting excited. John's here's like, oh, well, you were brought up in this meeting. That's the goal. I'm not saying you're going to get there overnight. Impossible. Speaking helps. Facebook Live helps. Giving value helps. It took a long time to get to the point where I could say, yay, I made it all the way right? But everything can be plotted out on this. Wouldn't that be awesome to just sit down and say, where am I at? So before I had people filling out like a journey, but then what happens if somebody skips a step? Or what happens if you get them to one spot? How do you re-engage them? They're like nice pretty arrows right here. So the solid arrows are the ways you want them to go, right? And you'll see the dashed ones. What if we can't keep them excited? They're not ascending. You know that you need to come back down here. So the arrows tell you where you need to go. Put it on your desk. Put it under that glass. Does anybody have the glass on their desk? No. I think that was like my dad. Like he's always at government offices. They wanted to protect their big wooden furniture, and so they would put the glass on top. So in what I do, these are my 8 critical components. There's actually more, but these are the main ones. So when you think about business, this is what you're looking at. Conversion funnels, which is what I just showed you. That's the nice way where you don't feel like an object. You're talking to humans, right? Content marketing, that's your blogs. Maybe even some of your social media, depending on how you use it. Podcasting, a lot of things can be content. Customer acquisition, so how do you get them in the first place, right? Email marketing and CRM setup. Testing and optimization, if you don't have the rest, you've got nothing to test and optimize. When your business is going, that's where you go. Same thing with data and analytics. Search marketing, can people find you in the search? Somebody, and you're like, oh, well, that's not really my thing, or relationship. No, if somebody types in your name, you should fill the first 4 pages of Google. You can't miss it. You should have some images in there. So if they click images, there should be no missing who you are, unless you're like one of those really unlucky people whose name is the same as some celebrity. And social media, that's where everyone wants to play at, and they don't even know how to use that. But take that right there, boom, it now plugs in there too. You can see exactly how each one starts fitting inside. Literally everything you do can be fit in here, and you can start realizing where it is you're missing and what's going wrong in your process. Like I can, for the business growth network insiders, this is where we're messing up. This is one of the big places we're messing up. That's a cart issue, purchasing cart issue. It's not pretty, it's not pleasant, no upsell capability. Stabs me a little bit in the heart. It's $200 a month to fix them. So, but that's what I know, that if I'm going to spend money, that this is the quadrant I need to fix. And I have a web guy fixing the pretty side of the website, so baby steps. So basically, like what I've said, you can organize all your tactics, all your training. If you're weak in something, you know which area you need training in, and organize your entire team, anybody who's working with you, all, literally everybody, onto that page. That's how well it works. Get some little magnets, a whiteboard, draw it out, use a piece of paper. I think for my clients I might even print, like I used to in architectural, like a big piece of paper so we can take notes on it. So write this down, the job of marketing is not to generate awareness. I think traditionally that's what everyone's asked marketers to do, they've asked me to do, is I just want people to know I exist, so when they, break their arm, that they show up at my ER versus my competitor that I just left. It's not my job. My job is not to close the sale for you. It's not my job. What my job is to do is to make that process to go through that machine as seamless as humanly possible. Or if you don't even have that machine, to build it for you. So I always had a hard time explaining what it is I do. That's what I do. I build that for you so that things run smoothly when you start playing on Facebook. So now it's your turn. Anybody want that? Right? So inside Facebook Live, and I hope this works because this is my new toy, there is a comment right under this live feed. If you click on it, it's like, I don't know, me chat or something, me warfare marketing. Click on that, select your preferred method. I think it just asks you, do you want the Facebook app or the online app? And type the word more, M-O-R-E. Not your last name, one O. Into my chat bot or my messenger box, and it will just send it to you. Should be super easy. If it doesn't work, let me know. So, I don't know how I'm on time.
What time is it?
I'm gonna it's like it normally comes up and it's
I
not
can
coming up.
find Facebook Live.
What did you say the time is?
I know it's working this time because I've got it over here. So it might just mean like a refresher.
You got time for questions?
Any questions? I felt like I zipped through a lot.
Yeah, you went through a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Would
Go
you
back
put
to
that
go
big
back to the chart
up
that
there
has
again?
that one.
You
That's
want the
good.
one with stuff in it or just the empty one?
That's good.
Yeah, what's the difference between the bottom left, the right, whatever that is, the blue,
Subscribe.
Subscribe one?
and the next one?
So subscribe. The product you sell, when you go on their website, the big website, right, parent company website, somewhere they're asking you for your email address, right?
Only if they go to my personal website.
On your personal, but on your personal website, you do ask. You say it's a newsletter, or what do you call it?
Just a contact if you'd like to.
Okay,
Yeah.
contact.
Somebody.
So this is getting someone to subscribe and get onto your email or your CRM. It's
Okay.
giving, they're not paying any money, but they're giving you permission. They're saying, yes, we can go on another date.
They're interested
Yeah.
in knowing more.
Let's talk some more.
Okay.
I'd like to hear what you say. I'm not ready to buy, but let's talk. I'd like to stay in the conversation. I'd like to see what you have to say. I'd like to learn more about you. Converting can be two different things. Like I said, that can be a small entry-level purchase or something like that. So the convention I went to, one of the guys who builds agencies was talking about, instead of asking them for the $50,000 contract, you say, I refuse to even work with you. Let's start with the $2,500 one and see if I even want to work with you.
I think it was the subscribe that was puzzling
Yeah.
me. It's like an inquiry.
Yeah.
Correct?
Well, like I said, it's
Kinda.
permission. Yeah.
Kinda.
So
Yeah. Do you mind if I
yeah, go ahead.
can I come up with you? Jen and I do this stuff a lot together, so I wouldn't do this with every speaker, but I do want to connect the dots for you guys in this group because this is an excellent tool. And if you want to think about Richardson Plano networkers, and you want to think about how you're going out to the market,
Let me let you play with the screen. I can see you going that way.
I think they're going, but see, awareness when you're in this room and think of this simply is you're getting awareness of who you are. That's your 30-second. Okay, that's all you're trying to do. You're accomplishing somebody that aware that you exist, right? So that's if you do a post on Facebook or whatever, right?
Go that way some.
Okay. 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 The other thing is that once they're aware of you, you want to engage. Well, how do we engage in this room? In the Richardson Plano networks. Just think about Richardson Plano networks. Don't try to think about all the other stuff because that's why you hire somebody like Jenna, is to help you with all the other things go around. But just think simply to understand what she's doing and what she helps you through in your day to day is the engage. What is that?
One-on-ones.
One-on-ones, absolutely. That's the way you engage. You might have a full one-on-one, or you might talk to somebody. You want this to happen in your business, in your life, all the time. Then what is it? What is subscribe? They decide to be part of. Well, if I look at Richardson Plano Networkers, you've signed up to. You're a member. You become a member. You're actually buying in. You're subscribing. Okay. And you're getting access, they're getting access to you. So people who come here on a regular basis, they may not always be coming for you, but they're coming for you and this group of people, right? What do we tell people? Don't send the email newsletter before you do what? Aware and engage. You with me? Why? Because what is it if you just ask somebody to subscribe and they are not aware or engaged? What's it called? Spam. Spam. So you can spam people personally and whatever. Like Jenna was saying, it's awesome because you can go through here. Then what you've done is you convert them. At some point, remember I said time. I've said a number of times in this room, timing is everything. It takes time, doesn't it? Jenna said it's taken time for her to get all the way through to where she's got the system and got things working for her. It's going to take the thing for you too. You can't get discouraged and say, okay, I'm not getting any subscription. I'm not having any people sign up for me, and now they're not converting. I'm not getting any customers. Remember we said that it's about building relationships. And so you get them excited, and then they start buying stuff from you. I had, Ryan do my car, and now, I may, have him do another car and another, I mean, it becomes a way, and he's continuing to nurture what? The relationship, because why do you do business? If you try to jump and expect people to be advocating and promoting you. How many people in here, and I can tell you the answer is, how many are going to be advocating you if they don't know you? How many people are going to be advocating you if they haven't used your service or don't know you in depth? Not very many. Yet people walk into networking groups or walk in to send out a few emails or do a few posts on Facebook or whatever, and they wonder why this stuff, why is this stuff Jenna's telling me? Why doesn't it work? Well, the reason is because you don't have any patience. It's like, you know, I mean, I could use all kinds of examples of people walking in clumsily into a room and expecting results when they have no relationship. So that's why we do understand. That's what we're trying to do here, and that'll, if you learn what she's teaching here, and you learn how to do it, and you learn how to automate that and do some things where you're not having to show up to a meeting. This is very time intensive, being here in a networking meeting, right? So she can help you do things, or, you know, people can help you do things, and you can build your business to where it's more automated, right?
So continue on now after the Excite.
Where am I at? Excite?
Excite. So you're excited.
This is Ascension. So remember when I said there's three ways, right? Get more customers, that's more of awareness, right? Get more value from each customer. So at each point of the sale, more profit, more margin. So maybe you're asking them to buy more. One example was Survival Life is like a blog company, and their lead magnet, their kind of subscribe in conversion or whatever was like, we'll give you a free knife if you give us your information, because that way they got a good email and a good address, right? Because they're shipping something to you. But they only ever allowed you to get one. It was like free plus you just paid shipping. So it's like, I'd like to buy 10. So that is a great example of one, how you get more value out of one purchase. You allow them to buy more, right? The other one is getting them to come back over and over again, right? To buy the next product, to come to the next thing, right? And that's what Ascension is. So that's, once you've got them subscribed, you've got, you know, access to their phone, to their Facebook message, to their email, you can offer them more products. You can offer them the next service. You're like, well, I've only got one product. What if you have an affiliate, or what if you have a partner, or a kickback, or something else? There's always like a partnership with a friend. You want to build, you know, a nice referral network. So think about realtors. Realtors work with mortgage guys and escrow, title guys. So hey, you know, I know you came in here to work with the mortgage. I'd like you to give you, you know, to my title guy. You know, making sure that there's always something else that you can offer them on a regular basis.
See, Ascension isn't that hard. What do you normally, we all call it, what do you call it?
Upsells.
Upsell. You're always getting upsold, no matter where you go. You go buy a car, they try to upsell you to buy the extended warranty. They try to buy, you know,
and you might say no. You might say yes.
But the more relationship you have, the more comfortable they are with you as they're going up. You know, they're going to say, okay, let's move a little further up this ladder, this value, which is more value to them, and obviously more value to you. So you're moving up the relationship.
Ryan, did you have a question?
Yeah, I was just going to say that from this meeting, like when you always tell people in the meeting, we're your marketing team.
Right.
Then basically you're trying to get them past subscribe to work to the green.
To advocate and promote.
The green, the red, the blue. I can't read what this says.
Right.
But you're actually wanting to get it to the green side to be promoters.
Absolutely.
Or even awareness. It's not just that it starts there. Awareness a little bit.
Right.
So yeah, that's, anybody in here could help you move, but you need to know that you're ready to move past that next stage. And then any questions about moving from advocate to
the advocate is, the promotion is just a degree of how strongly and how exclusive you're advocating somebody. I'm always, you know, when I'm connecting the dots with my agents, people that I have agency agreements with and stuff like that, I'm always an advocate, but I'm not necessarily actively promoting.
You're not going to show up at 7 a.m. to a council meeting and wait there until 6 p.m. to speak.
Right.
You're not there yet.
Right.
I think it starts with encouraging utilization. That's one of the frustrations that I have in the legal show business, is people will buy the membership and never really use the service.
So one of the things that Legal Shield offers, isn't it like a will? I mean, like that is one of the things, right?
The fundamental membership, family membership, includes a will, the living will, the healthcare power of attorney, also contracting, document review, trial defense, other things, and these are the things that are in the core system.
So an example would be making sure, like maybe you come over for 2 hours with them and you help them do their will. You're like, this is important because it is.
Yeah.
You're like, you've got kids, what happens when you pass? Let me tell you some horror stories, some game logic fear.
It's amazing the number of people that, the predominant part of my business, my legal show members are people who signed up through group voluntary benefits. They'll buy the membership, and that's probably a 30-minute transaction. Ideally, I'm going to be back in there in the group every quarter. But it's amazing.
Is there something that you could leave behind?
It's amazing the number of people that bought the membership that a year later, 2 years later, 3 years later, they still don't have their will done.
Then leave something behind that says, here are the key aspects of your membership that you need to utilize this month. Let's have lunch, I'll buy you coffee, let's make sure that we get you in. And you're like, oh, I'll buy coffee, that takes off from my margin. But if they buy again, that was like the McDonald's picture. One, you have a profit, you made $5 selling one drink, one burger. McDonald's only made 6, but they sold 3. That $1 though, that's more than what you've already had. Now, we won't talk, eating McDonald's versus Whataburger, but you get the picture though. Maybe your margin is not as good that year.
Is there any debate?
Do you understand though, like your margin may not be as nice that year, but they'll come back next year.
And that's really what I like about the term raving fans, is you want
Ryan?
From a social media perspective, what do you feel is the best way for someone to get through all of those steps?
You cannot do all this strictly through, you can't do quite all of it. So one of the new things is that if you, I can't remember when you came in, I asked you to go to click on the link that's underneath the live. So one of the things that a lot of companies have done, they are running all of their customer service on Twitter. I seriously thought Twitter was going to die. They were, letting people in to see their books, and they ran the other way. They didn't want to sell. Then Trump happened. A company though just ran an experiment, and most of Twitter is bots. Like you can get all the likes and shares, but the only people actually clicking are actually bots. So to me, Twitter's kind of dead. Trump goes away, it's gone, right? Facebook now is trying to move into that, well not Facebook, companies are trying to utilize Facebook in the same way. So what I asked you to opt in for is essentially you just subscribed to my Facebook Messenger, and Facebook Messenger is now allowing you to do the automations just like email did. And I think it's only $10 a month per account versus a complicated CRM. Can it do as much? No. Is there still tracking and some analytics? Yes. So you can get the subscribe still with mini chat. And just message me on Facebook and I'll give you the link for that. You can certainly engage them. You can spend an hour focused on work engagement, like going out of your way. Like, so I showed, John, Randy Watkins, right? I showed him, print out your entire list of your entire Facebook friend list, right? Now, you specifically are more focused on, the DFW area because that's the limitations of your work. Go through there and interact with 10 new people a day. Go through, mark them off. Even if it's just, hi, how are you doing? You can start with who has birthdays today. Send them a customized picture that says happy birthday. That's a nice reach. I mean, if you just say happy birthday, you just get plugged in with the other 100 people saying happy birthday, right? Heck, I don't even remember half the time. But if you have a special picture that you just made in Typic for $1.99 forever, takes you no time at all. You don't put your logo on there. You just say happy birthday, David. That's it. Now you have a custom picture in there that speaks to them, and you start, and by doing that, you kind of trick the Facebook algorithm to thinking they're going to interact with you more. You're going to show up more in their feed, And if you were like, hey, I'm on site working, and they see a picture of that, and they're like, oh, reminder, he does cars. And so that's how you can start to engage and even excite. When somebody needs a clean car for a date or a show, I bet you want more show cars than mom cars. You can do that. Now the Ascension, I bet you could work through MiniChat. Everyone's still experimenting with that. I don't think there's a way to pay, but you can put a URL to a PayPal account, or you can put a URL to a scheduler that can say, what time would you like me to show up at your house? And you can, I don't know if you block out the whole day, but there's a scheduler for $10 a month that will do that for you, and you can link through it through MiniChat. So I bet you could all do this through Facebook. It would just, you'd have to be really creative about it.
You say Facebook only, right?
Huh?
You think Facebook only?
Well, there's a lot of other tools, Ryan, but, you
Well, I
know,
mean, like I say, when you.
but Facebook is
If you
probably the
used
biggest
Facebook,
destination for most buyers.
MiniChat for $10 a month and Acuity for $10 a month, and used an iCalendar or whatever calendar you have on your computer or phone religiously, you could probably automate, and Facebook ads, you could automate this whole process. The the two people that will have a little bit of hiccup are my financial advisors and my insurance people. But you can build relationships on social media, right?
Right.
And if, 9 out of 10 of your conversations are about building relationships, and you happen, hey, I closed a deal, or I got this new person on board, or a new company I'm working with, or this, whatever it is, or, my company put out this, there is something your compliance officer will let you do.
Right.
What is MiniChat?
Message me.
Yeah.
Basically what it does is it's trying to be an email CRM system, but only on Facebook Messenger. So if you noticed a while back, Facebook broke off their Messenger platform on your phone. It's separate. And of course, when you still have it on your desktop, it's integrated, but it is actually a separate app, and they're trying to combine it. And basically, Facebook wants to take over the world, bringing in a little Snapchat, bringing up a little Periscope, but you can start automating messaging there. That's MiniChat, is when I said type in more and go to that link, that's MiniChat. So I was able to deliver you something. I have not moved. I have not gone to my email. I've not done anything but sit here and have a conversation with you, and I was able to deliver you a product, engage you, subscribe you. And if I go home and I set it up right, maybe convert you.
Cool.
All right, I'm going to shut down this.
Well, yeah, we'll leave this going for a second, because we're 5 minutes away. But anyway, that was awesome, and I will tell you that what she's saying in terms of process and everything is critical to what you do. If you take nothing away from this, understand that the whole process coming from awareness to subscribe, regardless of what you automate, what you described, John, you got them to convert. They're never going to be excited. You're never going to upsell if they don't consume what they bought. That's a very, very real problem for most businesses, especially network marketing businesses, especially businesses that they actually originally get aware and engaged because of emotion. And so if you don't continue to work to get them excited, to get them to use what they bought, if you just say, okay, they bought, so I'm on to my next customer, you're dead. They're gonna end back, and Jenna will tell you what's easier. You think it's easier to excite somebody who's already converted, or then go back to the aware, engage, excite, recycle. It's obviously, or get new customers altogether. It's easier to work with people.
The most expensive spot is awareness.
Right.
You might as well take care of the customers you got.
Right. And so that if you're not doing that, and those are all learnings that you can take from this. But anyway, I appreciate Jenna and taking the time to educate us again. Awesome. And for those that are on Facebook Live, we'll be doing this again next week, and we've got some training coming up next week, and I can't tell you exactly what it is because I don't remember. I've had so many people sign up in the last to speak, and I've got to figure out what date I got them to sign up, and I lost my notes, so I've got to go back and start reaching out to people. But anyway, we will have next Friday. The next Friday is the 7th, correct? Yeah, so next Friday is 7th. The 14th, just so you know, we'll not have a Friday meeting. That is Good Friday, and it's just a long weekend for some people. It's just not worth trying to pull off. So that weekend will be off. So next week we'll have training. 2 weeks from, the 21st, we'll have training. I know we have a speaker that's going to be on health and wellness for business owners, and it's going to be topics. So those that are in that industry, as well as those who want to understand those. By the way, we've had some training. I know Ruth Ann Wheatfall gave us training on eating clean and stuff like that. That's something we're going to train on as well periodically through this, because we all need to be healthy so we can build our businesses. So with that, Facebook Live, we're off, and we'll see y'all next week, and see you Wednesday, I guess. All right? Thanks.